You know, in a perfect world, $200 would be more than sufficient to buy a long-lasting computing device. But a perfect world this is not. Of course, I suppose anyone could have told you that right about now. Greetings and felicitations, assorted children of the internet. I am the Logician, and you may have caught on by now that the tech I'm using to run this show is wearing a bit thin. The good news is that I am, in fact, in the process of upgrading to the next make and model, as it were, so hopefully going forward, streaming will not be as strenuous on my current build. But in the interim, I'm going to try and take things easy in terms of the overall computing load. I know someone's going to do something dirty with that, especially knowing my friend groups. Anyway, we're going to be watching some more Masked Rider tonight. And that's going to be enough of a mental load that hopefully it'll compensate. By the way, if any of you want to watch anything worth watching, I highly recommend checking out the stream currently going up on my friend Koshay's channel. They're currently going through South of something or other. I'm not exactly privy to the newest, hippest trends in gaming, as it were. But they are streaming with their partner Bats. And it looks like a veritable gay old time, as the children say. So yes, if by chance they are still running their own show by the time I finish up, or by the time OBS decides to have a conniption, or me, whichever comes first, I highly recommend checking that out over there. In fact, just to make sure that I get that established... There we go. If you're not already following Koshay, please do so as soon as you can. They are a very dear friend of mine, as is their partner Bats. But in the interim, let's not waste any more time, considering time may in fact be of the essence. So, here we are in Fear, and it's, Masked Rider.
An embattled planet called Edenoi, a young prince named Dex is given great powers by his grandfather, the king, and is sent to the planet Earth to protect it from the advancing evil of Count Dragon and his vicious insectoids. Once on Earth, he is adopted by a kind family and learns to live as a human. With his companion Phoebus by his side, Dex is ever vigilant, ready at a moment's notice to call on his powers to become Masked Rider.
By the way, disclaimer right out the gate, if you have not watched these streams before, there are sequences within this show that have a lot of flashing, colorful lights. I will let you know ahead of time when that is happening, just to make sure those of us who are photosensitive do not get caught off guard with a bit of a rude awakening to our respective medical conditions, as it were. And do please let me know how the audio levels are sounding, because... while I might not necessarily have anything particularly insightful to provide during the course of these streams in particular, I do want to make sure that I'm not at least blowing out your eardrums in the process. You'll actually pause it before making the announcement. Well, I appreciate that, Fee. I do my damnedest to make sure that everyone is accommodated in that regard. After all, 90s media did in fact hit different. If I'm well, one would hope that I am in fact louder than the show. So long as you can hear both me and the show, I think that should be fine.
114?
Oh, fuck off. Right out the gate, fuck off. Sorry. So, it is currently... We're starting to feel the heat where I currently live. And I had gotten so very used to the cooler weather with the overcast days and the rain. That is where I am in my element. And so now that the heat is returning and summer is upon us, I am dreading the prospect of stepping outside in the domain expansion of the Daystar, as it were. That's what the kids are saying nowadays, right? Yes, to be fair, that is something to take into consideration. My word. It's something to take into consideration, Fee, and I do apologize for that. Those of you with audio processing issues, it's going to get weird with these streams in particular as well. But those of you who can properly gauge whether or not the show is adequately loud when compared to me, just do speak up.
That's gotta be a record.
Oh, my word. Once again, topical.
Albie, what are you doing? That's my pate for the Bridge Club.
That's a great idea, Albie. Good way to beat the heat. Give me that chocolate cream pie that looks cool.
I'm going for the rainbow trout.
Do remember to hydrate, everyone. The heat is coming.
Phyllo pastry, dear.
Fine.
God, I can only fucking imagine how much Fern Troyer was suffering in the fursuit for these fucking... Like, when they had to film in the heat, I imagine the sets themselves were adequately air-conditioned, but just... hydrate or die straight, you know? God forbid.
You guys learn to cook your food the Edenoi way. But Molly, fish for breakfast?
We're just trying to beat the heat, Dex. You caught us with egg on our face.
Egg? I see no egg.
Well, that's a figure of speech, son. You embarrassed us.
I put egg on your face?
Dex, you really are.
You know? Moving on.
Thanks, case. Money people, folks. Money people.
Suit was probably cooled. I think you're giving Saban a bit too much credit, Fee, to be fair.
I know, Furbus. We're all hot.
Strange heat wave for this time of year. Not even the air conditioning will cool us down. What's this world coming to?
Maybe it's
Oh,
not
buddy, you
natural.
have no idea. I just realized, and I know they are directly just lifting footage from the original Japanese show, but it always just sort of struck me as odd. No one in the city below ever noticed the giant fucking spaceship, huh? Just floating around casually over Southern California.
Soon we can do just as we please. This heat will bring the earth to its knees.
Unleashing Heliotoid was a stroke of genius, sire. I cannot take all the credit. Heliotoid gets its energy by drawing power directly from the sun.
And thus temperature rises.
Exactly. Heliotoid will become strong enough to destroy Masterminder, and Earthlings will come to me begging for mercy. Little creation is already on Earth, warming things up.
The man with too many motivations and too few... I guess... I don't know. It feels like this villain is constantly contradicting himself. Whenever he gets close to destroying Mast Rider, he is very adamant about not doing so he can steal his power. And then we have instances like this, where he's just straight up, no, step on the roach. Again, I am not entirely certain what I was expecting going back through this particular series. Not even going back, going through for the first time. I suppose everything made sense in its own special way. As a child in the 90s, hopped up on Dunkaroos and Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. I think that awakens something in me. Moving on.
There. 20 pounds of cucumber salad. Well, that ought to keep him cool for a while. Oh, Furbus, what are you doing in there?
Listen. It was a bit too early in the timeline for Vern Troyer to go in a box, alright? They had to course correct.
Honey, have to test.
Shouldn't you mix that in a bowl?
Very funny. Oh, I have to clean this up. Will you keep an eye on Fergus?
Oh, sure. He can keep me company in the garage. I'm building this great new invention.
I mean, honestly, just use the sentient vacuum. It'll be done in a pinch. I knew Hoover was more reliable.
Okay, it's pretty hot.
Hot? Tired? Listless? Try Pryor's ice cream to cool you off. Now available in 47 mouth-watering flavors.
Okay, how special. That is a stellar sundae. Quick, hurry up. Eat it before it melts.
Yummy.
God.
This hits the spot.
I don't know what it is. I think it's just, for whatever reason, the lighting here seems especially sinister. It's like the shading here, just over the eyes. This feels like it's taking from the cinematography of Citizen Kane. I don't know. The lack of lighting there in particular. That's just TV lighting in the 90s. I mean, you're not wrong. Ah, my word.
This hits the spot.
What spot?
Dex.
We're not allowed to say on TV, Dex.
Another expression.
Fergus doesn't know what he's missing.
Doesn't know a lot of things.
Well, he's not used to such extreme heat. You see, on Edenoi, it is always a pleasant 75 degrees.
Listen, I spent a good chunk of my life on the coast along the Pacific Northwest. There's no such thing as a pleasant 75 degrees. Anything above 65 and I'm melting. Put me in the icebox.
Yes, it is. Purpose doesn't like the heat at all.
Something strange about this heat, Fergus. That's why I invented this. A quantum cooler. There's a very interesting history.
I do apologize for not being particularly talkative this stream.
More refreshing than a key lime pie on a hot afternoon.
Between the actual heat here and the constant eye I'm having to keep on the ticking time bomb that is my computer tower, I found myself somewhat distracted.
Someone's in trouble.
Let me guess. Our little fur ball?
Well, lucky for Fergus, I just can't get mad at him.
After all, it would ruin the branding.
Goes in your mouth, Dad.
Enjoy any plot that has Furbus suffering a key plot point. You know, fan of Schadenfreude that I am, I can't disagree. It's more just the continuous guilt of knowing who's in the fursuit that stops me from enjoying it wholeheartedly.
Dex, I think you need to feed your friend.
Hungry, Furbus?
Mother, Father, I am sorry. We are going to have to put him down.
This heat is too much for him.
We're all trying to stay cool, Dex.
No, it's much more than that. Furbus is getting sick. If we don't find a way to cool him off, he can be in big trouble.
What can we do?
I have a solution. My new invention, Hal's Quantum Cooler. Works like a microwave oven, but in reverse.
What could possibly go wrong with that? He's like a British person during a heat wave. I mean, listen. That's all I ask. Just listen. Listen to the wilting whiteys. Don't take anything they say seriously, just listen to them. Bask in their suffering. It's the most entertainment value we can derive from them at this point. As they take selfies smoking cigars and having a scotch next to a sunset. For their contributions to the degradation of human rights. Totally not being topical right now, don't mind me, anyway.
So it cools things off quickly?
Instantly. It can cool a whole house in just moments. Once I can finish the quantum cooler, then we can use it to help Furbus.
Okay, get to work.
I'm sorry, just the continuous cuts back to heavily panting Furbus. Looking about as delirious as Old Yeller at the end of the movie.
Once I can finish the quantum cooler, then we can use it to help Furbus.
Okay, get to work on it right away. In the meantime, we're gonna try to keep Furbus cool.
A quantum cooler. An invention like that would solve the problem I created on Earth.
Heliodroids would pose very little threat if people could cool off instantly.
This quantum cooler must not be completed. Hal Stewart must be stopped. Mink.
Among other things, you're not wrong, Alex.
Sure of that, Nefaria.
Some maggots might just do the trick.
I hope for your sake it's not a mistake.
Once again, the split pea soup always puts a smile on my face.
Come on, Furbus, just a little more.
There's a lot going on here. A lot at play on screen right now that honestly sowed the seeds for your typical art post on Blue Sky today. I'll let your imaginations fill in the rest.
This is a bad sign,
Want to know
guys.
something funny? I was feeling nostalgic, so I was watching some old cartoons commercials, then came here. Well, you came to the right and wrong place, Draws. I am so fucking sorry in advance.
Orange is his favorite flavor.
One last screw. Quantum cooler is ready. Gears
You and me
placed.
both, Draws. You and me both.
Let's give it a whirl.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, you all know what time it is. Once they start fast forwarding the footage, there's only one thing I can do to rectify the situation with this particular soundtrack. Okay, I didn't even plan for that, but the music ended exactly as the fucking Bulk and Skull theme ended. Once again, instantly improves everything. I mean, we're just one Yabba Dabba Do away from full corny. He's just sat down.
Use my invention on them.
Okay, can I even just say, like, obviously there's a lot to make fun of here. Stunt actors probably had fun with this. I can only imagine. There's a lot to make fun of here. I am actually kind of happy, unironically, that they're giving Dad some time to shine outside of simply being the inventor guy who gets every pratfall and prop dropped on him. Like, they're actually showing, yeah, no, he can take care of himself in certain situations. This is his home turf, after all. So, yeah, you know, credit where credit is due. Fat Dad character is not the butt of every joke going forward.
This thing really does work.
Congratulations, Dad. What do you call your invention? I'll call it GIMP. I don't think Adobe will be happy with me if I call it anything else.
Throws those buggers.
Oh, watch your language.
Spoke too soon, Dex. Don't worry. I know how to handle these guys.
I'll take care of the render issue. We'll smoke the monster out.
Gotcha. Works on boll weevils, too.
Nice work, Dad.
It's too hot for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, a little bug poison never hurt anyone, Dex. Now come on, let's go eat our asbestos salad.
What happened, Dex? Did you get him?
Where's Purvis?
He was just here. He couldn't have gone far. I'm not kidding you. He was just
What a world, Dex! What a world!
Purvis?
I was expecting a flamethrower.
Purvis? I found him. No, Purvis.
Let me gaze on you with my true eyes, Dex. Tell me about Disney
You've got
World.
to hang in there just a little longer, my friend.
Hard to find a traditional homemade asbestos salad. Nothing beats Mama's classic asbestos and meatballs, right? Right up there with the fiberglass focaccia.
Is it gonna be okay? Purvis.
Wish there was something we could do.
My God! They're making this as viscerally upsetting as they can get away with on a kid's show. Which, don't get me wrong, it's still hilarious. It's just, my word. They're really trying to break out the tears. He hasn't slept in a year. To be fair, that's simply a millennial mood at this point. POV when it's Monday. Yeah.
And it's shattering records worldwide. And now to Brad for a very special report on this extraordinary weather.
Many people of Leawood simply cannot believe how hot it is today. Temperatures have reached an all-time high and continue to rise. There's no relief in sight.
Oh, boy.
Dex, do you believe in these damn liberals and their climate change? Next thing you know, they're going to be trying to debunk the gender binary.
For more on this amazing situation, we turn to our reporter in the field.
Okay, so apropos of nothing, but I actually did attempt to fry an egg on the sidewalk in my hometown when I was younger. I lived in California at the time. It was very much in the middle of wine country where the only water available was pretty much constantly routed to the grapes. Thought this was an American Dad scene with, oh God, yeah.
Well, Len, it's literally hot enough to fry an egg on the sidewalk. Leawood has never seen a summer like this.
How did that work? Well, first of all, had to escape the clutches of my mother at the time. Just realized the phrasing of that implies I went through multiple mothers. Which, depending on which timeline I'm in currently, is a distinct possibility. I've lost track at this point.
There's simply no escaping this unnatural heat, and the heat is taking its toll.
Locals are crowding the area pool, looking for any escape from the unnatural heat. Outside Leawood, firefighters battle blazes caused by the rising temperatures. They are hampered by a draft.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Firefighters battle blazes caused.
Okay, like, it's one thing, okay. Stray dove going through. That's just someone's pet rabbit next to the blaze. Someone took out their Easter pet and set him right next to the burn pile. Specifically to get this footage. Because that is not a wild rabbit. I smell shenanigans.
Temperatures. They're hampered.
How do you know it's not wild? Because that is generally, like, the build and coloration of a domesticated rabbit. Like, if we're talking like a hare or another type of wild rabbit, they're generally not that colorful or have that distinct a pattern in their fur. Like, that is a clearly well-fed rabbit.
By a drastic water shortage. Even Lake Leawood has been drained by the intense sun. And on the world scene, there is fear that polar ice caps may melt, resulting in...
And you, friend Ego, you're very much fixated on that, aren't you, Fee? Well, suffice it to say, I got a scolding for wasting food. Of course, it didn't stop me from breaking out the salt and pepper, but, you know. Iron Stomach Logician wasn't particularly picky, for most of my life anyway.
Massive flooding. We'll be back in a moment with more information on this unprecedented heat wave.
I guess a cooling trend is definitely out of the question.
We've got to figure out a way to make Purpose feel better.
Oh, and just the thing.
Another degree. His temperature is going up every hour.
And his color's bad. This is very serious.
Purpose, I have your favorite gazpacho, cold soup.
Damn. Way to disrespect a whole generation of grannies. Family feuds were waged over that gazpacho, Furbus. How actually very dare you? I remember seeing a kid sniff a pixie stick and scared me so much. You know, that actually reminds me of a story, Draws. So this was senior year of high school. And apologies for anyone if I've told you this story before. But it was during break, and I was studying in my physics classroom. And at the table next to me were three guys who were breaking out a package of Tang. Now, for the uninitiated, Tang is essentially to orange soda what Nesquik is to chocolate milk. Just powdered orange drink. And so they broke open this package of Tang, and they dumped it on the table and started forming it into a line. Some of you can already probably guess where this is going. I remember looking up from my book and seeing them prep the sample, as it were, and thinking, oh, these fucking idiots are going to regret it. And that's when my physics teacher walked in. Now, he was already, you know, pretty eccentric when it came to the style with which he conducted himself and taught class. He was the type who would, like, make a syllabus and then throw it out with a whole new plan in mind. But other than that, he was relatively straight-laced. He walked in on these guys lining up the Tang, and I was thinking, okay, he'll put a stop to this before it goes too far. Without blinking an eye, just walks up to them and goes, yeah, man, go, go, go! And stun-locked all three of the idiots in place to the point where I think they just forgot about their plans and moved on with their day. And to this day, I am relatively certain that was the most brilliant use of reverse psychology I had ever seen from a school teacher. I made a life-size boat out of cardboard and duct tape in that class.
You must be sick if you didn't like my soup.
Dex, I think we need to call a veterinarian.
First of all, I think we need to call an English major for your pronunciation there, Pops. Not the first time I heard that story, but that's fine. Well, I appreciate it. After all, I am a male VTuber. I tend to fall back on stock phrases and privilege. Doesn't like my soup. Time to take him to the hospital. I mean, honestly, classic response of any auntie.
That won't do any good. The only cure is to end this heat wave before Furbus is overcome.
I'm sorry, and I know I'm gonna keep harping on this, but just... God, I'm pretty sure this was shown on Fox Kids as well, so this isn't even gonna be that big of a stretch. It's like... I think we've reached our limit, Dex. We need to get Furbus vaccinated. No, that won't do any good. The only true cure to this is abolishing the gay agenda.
Can't control the weather, Dex.
Maybe we can. If somebody is controlling it in the first place. Furbus, I have to go out for a little bit, okay? Please try to hold on just a little bit longer.
Once again, I know they're trying to play this straight and, like, make all the kids feel bad for Furbus. But honestly, this feels like a fucking Mad TV bit. Just like the rubbery mouth stuck in the grimace. Let's see. I'm relatively certain this is some kind of puppet. Not necessarily a hand one. Maybe just a semi-advanced animatronic.
We've been friends for so many years, Furbus. And we're gonna be friends for many more. I love you too, Furbus.
Zero reason for this to be this emotional, exactly. And there was much rejoicing.
Enough energy to his first strike your wickedness.
Perfect. Leewood is weakened. They should be caught off guard. Iliotoid shall attack at once.
Magnum! Chopper! Rev up!
Boku wa Dokta. Tony Chopper. Well, there's a reason that shot looks so good, Draws, and that's because it was from a completely different show.
Furbus isn't gonna make it if I don't figure out a way to beat this heat.
Do you think Dragon's behind it?
Well, he's got a suspected exhaust breath. Why else would he be here?
Let's find out if it is Dragon. I'll use my insectopathic powers to scan the area for his forces.
Well, don't spit it out. Like we just said at the start of the stream, Draws. Hydrate or dihydrate.
Oh no, it's worse than I thought. There's an insectivore at the power plant.
I too find myself defaulting to Plotto vision when I get overly frustrated. Yes. So, warning ahead of time for those of you who are, who deal with photosensitivity, there are going to be a lot of flashing lights for approximately 10 seconds. So, I will let you know when those 10 seconds are up. There we are.
Do a pinpoint scan for that insectivore, Magno.
Right. Scanning now. I've got it, by the power plant.
All right, good work. Now vector us in. We haven't got a second to lose. Magno, Chopper, I need you.
Dude, I just work here. This is Universal Studios. want an autograph? Get in line!
I thought you were a bug, not a chicken.
Neither. I'm a bug exterminator.
Could anyone else make out any of that? All I got was the word exterminator.
I thought you were a bug, not a chicken.
Neither. I'm a bug exterminator.
Exterminator! What's more with feeling? I mean, obviously I heard Dex saying, I thought you were a bug, not a chicken. First of all, he looks more like Skeletor joined the fucking big bad Beetleborgs. Not so much a bug.
I thought you were a bug, not a chicken.
Neither. I'm a bug exterminator.
I'm neither. I'm a bug exterminator. Okay, well, I appreciate you serving as stenographer for this bit, Faye. Holy typos, Batman. You're fine. I mean, I got the gist of it, and I appreciate it.
I'm right up and rolling, boss.
Come on, Copper. What do you say we give Gillian-Toy the run for his money?
By challenging me, you will only get...
We'll see about that.
Once again, spot the Japanese footage. Okay, hold up. Hold up. Now, I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. But I seem to recall similar footage to this being played when the Megazords in Power Rangers either first emerged or were initially destroyed. I could be entirely mistaken. In fact, it's probably more likely than not that I am in fact mistaken. But given that this is Saban we're talking about, I would not put it past them to use stock footage from an entirely different IP. This is great content. I'm glad someone thinks so, Draws.
Rider, you shall pay dearly for that.
Bill me later.
You cannot match the power of the sun.
Unlimited solar power.
Yeah, so what do you do when it's cloudy?
Depends on whether or not meatballs are on the menu.
That does it, Heliotoy. I'm gonna shut you down.
The only thing down is you.
Okay, that's enough. Fast, web, typical.
Oh, another transformation sequence, just to let you all know ahead of time, so flashing lights. Alright, transformation sequence over. Those are becoming increasingly frequent with these later episodes, so just keep that in mind. There will likely be at least 2 to 3 of these sequences per episode going forward. You know, I'm always curious how they get those sparking explosions. Never seen them like that. Yeah, no, the pyrotechnics... Well, I mean, here's the thing. Tokusatsu series are still very much alive and well in Japan. Like, Super Sentai is still going, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, they're alive and well. It's just that they're not particularly common, or rather, the practices of those series are not particularly common in the United States. And I think a big part of it is because they're generally seen as cheesy, or just generally not to the tastes and standards of American audiences. Except for the fucking weebs here, which, let's be honest, the population is steadily climbing every year.
Kill you out.
How impressive. sun to drain your
A dozen episodes of Sailor Moon series of the exact same
Feel
quality.
it,
Yeah.
Feel the sun weakening you, sucking the energy right out of you.
I forgot that he just had a fucking Glock ready.
You think that P-Shooter can defeat me? No!
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. But that was literally just a fucking DBZ abridged joke. It's like, oh, how cute. He thinks that's going to hurt me. Oh, shit!
P-Shooter can defeat me? No!
Your attacks will never work until they do. Like, the editors just decided they were ready for the episode to be over and for themselves to get paid. That's what this was. Lasers and energy beams don't work. I got this trusty Glock. Or do you think Teams for 4-star got their humor? You know what? You're not wrong. You're genuinely probably not wrong. It's true of a lot of episodes. Yeah, how ironic. The gods sent a child. Ah, dies. Yeah, no, that's Tokusatsu in a nutshell.
Master Rider has once again defeated me. Next time, he can do better.
Well, I mean, plot's over. We can get rid of the evil filter.
Good news, guys. Kiliotoid has been defeated. It's finally cooling down.
Dex, there's been no improvement in Furbus.
The only thing Furbus responds to is watching TV and eating ice cream all day.
Really?
Let's wait for the joke to drop. Oh my god. Fucking. Of course they'd be watching Samurai Pizza Cats. Of fucking course you'd be watching Samurai Pizza Cats. Ah, my word. For context, at the time of this stream, Samurai Pizza Cats, which was a sort of a cult following anime, has since gotten a revival as a platformer video game. Pretty sure that's what this is. Let's come back to the TV.
Guys,
let's see this again.
We might want to come here and take a look at this.
No, that is absolutely Samurai Pizza Cats. I am not joking, Fee. Look it up. Samurai Pizza Cats. It was a real anime, and it has since been revived relatively recently as well as a video game. They gave it the Cuphead treatment. And by that I mean every single frame for the sprites and the levels is all hand-drawn animation. I promise it's not bad, it's just 90s as fuck. Also, my computer is revving like a Harley Davidson. I'm not sure if you can hear that. So if I go, well, the way of the pyrotechnics in the show, all of a sudden, you'll know why.
You mean he's been faking the whole time?
Well, not the whole time, but ever since the heat wave ended.
Well, I think it's about time that we teach him a lesson.
Guess who's going in the next pie, Furbus?
Still sick, huh, Furbus?
All that ice cream will make you feel better. This is the healthiest flavor I could find. Broccoli, spinach, mint chip.
I mean, who the fuck are you to turn up your nose to that? That's just like a typical flavor from Salt and Straw. And I'd still try it. Right up there with their smoked cherries and bone marrow. That is not a joke, by the way.
Oh, now you're better, huh?
Look at that.
A miracle of science.
I'm just happy to have my friend well again.
Science had nothing to do with this. Science rejects this.
I love you too, Fergus.
Will Dex ever smoke out all the insectivores?
I made a smoke the monster out joke during this specific scene, and I'm angry. I have inherited Lorelai's timing quirk. Fully. And unabashedly. And I'm mad. He's a pet, right? He doesn't help. No, he's just there to be the cute mascot character. Basically the Alpha 5 equivalent.
Will Hal get the maggots to help clean the garage? Will fish perfume become Molly's new fragrance? Will Purvis ever learn to share his frozen treats?
I don't think any of us want what Purvis has got.
Will Hal ever learn it's better to eat dessert than to wear it?
Okay.
All this and more on the next exciting adventures of Masked Rider.
I've accidentally been in sync with it since the music on the... You know, you're not wrong. It's almost as though I used to review media or something. Wow! Okay, that was a rare fucking treat. Alright, skipping the intro this time. Just to decrease the odds of me having to end stream early. God, even down to the fucking logo, man. It's literally just the "oh you" meme personified. This time you had the excellent timing, Fee. Alright, so random question time. Let's break out the D20. Alright, number 4. So, number 4 on the list of random questions is... Do you think any of the remaining scientific minds responsible for the modern tenets of cognitive behavioral therapy ever regret their choice in nomenclature? The joke here is that it's also called CBT. Moving on.
I know you're hungry, Purvis. I'm mixing your food as fast as I can.
And say that again slower. So, the question here, Fee, was that, do you think the people responsible for cognitive behavioral therapy ever regret naming it that because of the rise in popularity of another practice that uses those particular letters? I imagine they are questioning many things, even if not their life choices.
No, don't eat that. This is much better for you.
Phoebus, did you learn nothing from the previous episode?
Dex, I thought you left with Albie and Molly. You know you're going to be late for school.
No, I had to mix up more Purvis food. I guess I lost my train of time.
You mean track of time?
Do you want to ride to school, Dex?
No, that's okay. It'll be much faster if I run.
Really?
Purvis, I'll see you later, okay? Bye, guys.
You know, let's not question why he never told anyone that he had super speed. I guess they're just setting up for a new form or transformation. This seems like it would have been a very handy ability to have in previous episodes, Dex. I'm just saying.
Coach Tyler, no running. Coach Tyler, what about the state track championship this year? Have we got a shot?
If I find the right athlete.
Hey, Coach. Well, what about Aaron Hill? He's good.
Yeah, he works hard, but school's won a championship for 20 years. With my kind of luck, I need somebody really special.
Please don't look at the children like that, Coach. We don't need another seminar.
What are you looking at? I think my luck just changed.
911 emergency.
Pathetic! The greatest power in the universe, and he wastes it running to school.
Yes, sir, but he shall not be running much longer.
Do you have a plan worthy of my attention?
As a matter of fact, I do. On one of the planets recently conquered, we had the good fortune of capturing a mass molecular transfer machine.
And I have the chlorophyll crystal that should make it run.
Should?
How many times we heard that? If this device works as I believe it will, Count Dragon, we can kidnap the entire population of Leewood and enslave them all on Edenor.
Excellent. And the vanishing Tentaclone can hide the machine from Prince Dex until it's ready. And we'll bring Leewood Dex and his powers to me.
Once again, every time I see these little capsules with the action figures in it, I just... it feels like this was sort of the precursor to those little plastic bottles Bionicles would eventually come in. Like, I know it's not exactly a new practice for tokusatsu shows to use toys as actual props, but it wasn't exactly as widely practiced in the States. Not even way back this far. To my memory, anyway. I mean, maybe not even specifically merch placement so much as just using toys from the Japanese show most of the footage came from for propage.
So what do you know about Dex Stewart?
A very strange boy. As a matter of
I think he's Canadian.
fact, I have a list.
Alright, Mr. Crocker, calm down.
What's wrong?
I don't know.
I somehow get the impression there's a sniper. Duck!
I'm getting an insectopathic feeling of danger, though. Count Dragon must be up.
You know, you could just say rider senses. It's far enough away from spider senses to where you could probably get away with it. Not many kids are going to be able to easily remember insectopathic when quoting their favorite. You know, I was about to say favorite show, but that would imply that enough kids watch this over Power Rangers that would ever be the case. It's rider sense. That's the long and short of that particular tangent.
Something. I'm gonna jump lunch to you.
I'll see you later.
Who cares if Dex Stewart's strange? He's fast.
Better be careful, boss.
You know, I'm guessing that was just a SoCal thing then.
My energy tracking sensors are in the red.
I'll just take a look.
Ah, yes. Welcome to the lot they used for pretty much every show they filmed with Saban.
Commandoids. Stay here, Chop. I'm gonna find out what this is all about.
Just call if you need me.
You should not have intruded, Masked Rider. Now you'll pay. Bandits, attack!
Hold the fuck up. I know that voice, it just... Okay, one moment. Because I need to go down this rabbit hole before I fall straight into it. I have absolutely heard that voice before. Apologies in advance if I disappear. Multitasking to any degree tends to overload this computer. Ah, my word. Alright, the dash. Because again, as a voice actor myself, I hear familiar voices. I just end up tumbling down and down until I find those links. Let's see here. Was it Mike Reynolds? It might be Mike Reynolds that I'm thinking of. Yes, it is Mike Reynolds. Okay, so even just a show for a little bit. Mike Reynolds, a voice actor who appeared in a number of different dubbing productions, including Digimon Adventure as Genai, who is essentially the Zordon to the Digidestined in that show. I recognize that particularly bassy tone. And sure enough, it is in fact the same man. So yes, that's Mike Reynolds that I was hearing. Oh, mystery solved. A rare attempt at quality with a slow-mo shot there.
You should not have meddled in things that do not concern you, but that...
No, that is absolutely Genai. Yeah, no, Mike Reynolds. And again, it isn't even much of a surprise considering how many VAs got their early work in... Not even just specifically voice actors, but actors in general. Again, I mentioned before that Vern Troyer, aka Mini-Me from the Austin Powers movie, he was the actor in the Furbus suit in this show. But Johnny Young Bosch, who played the likes of Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach and Lelouch V. Britannia from Code Geass, he was the second Black Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The voice actor for Faye Valentine is the car in this show, Magno. So, yeah. I'm not sure why I keep finding myself surprised. Yes, he was also Vash the Stampede, from the show of the same name. Thank you, Faye. But yeah. If you ever find yourself, for whatever fucking reason, which... Never watched Saban's Masked Rider alone, kids. Not at least without adult supervision. I'm not sure why I forgot that Vash the Stampede's show was called Trigun and not Vash the Stampede. I think it's the heat. It's absolutely the heat. I refuse to take responsibility for that. I mean, we could also chalk it up to the fact that Johnny Young Bosch crossed the picket line, but, you know. It's another subject entirely. Moving on.
Night.
What are you?
Your enemy. That is all you need to know.
Again, on today's episode of Spot the Japanese Footage. So, clearly, for the uninitiated, what Saban tended to do with these types of shows in the 90s was they would secure the rights to certain IPs, like Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, and they would take a lot of the fight scenes and other scenes featuring costumed characters from these shows and film new footage with American actors, stick them in similar wardrobes to those of the Japanese counterparts from the original footage, and they would try and hodgepodge together new series. That's how Super Sentai became Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's how Kamen Rider became Masked Rider. So here we see Dex in this background with the more brown and tan sand. And then we have this footage with the more gray rocks and dirt, with the original suit actor here, and the Japanese actor who is very much wearing a similar outfit. And note, you cannot see this actor's face. They specifically chose this shot from the original Japanese footage because you could not see the actor's face. And note once again, by the time we get back to this footage, which was clearly the American footage, we went from the more gray rocks and dirt to the more tan and brown rocks and dirt. And again, here you can actually see Dex's face. This is the American actor that they hired for the newer footage. Granted, it's also a bit more difficult to tell with this particular video because the overall video quality has not aged well with the upload to YouTube. Not helped by my own stream setup. But yeah, and sometimes it can take a little time to spot those relatively minor details, but it always becomes a fun game for me whenever I watch these shows. Once again, flashing lights warning for about 10 seconds. Alright, here we go. And once again, here we have the Japanese footage.
That ought to take care. Huh? What's going on? Where'd they go?
What's the matter, Masked Rider? Don't know where I am? Isn't that too bad?
I don't understand it, Chop.
Okay, and here, we're back to the American footage. And there were some cases where Saban was actually able to get the Japanese shows to send them some of the costumes for the American actors to wear. But you can also tell not just because of the somewhat cleaner film footage and the more tan and brown rocks. If you look closely at this part,
isn't that too bad?
I don't.
You can see that the suit isn't exactly fitted to the actor as much, given the opening at the back of the helmet there. This costume was not made with this particular suit actor in mind. It was made for a Japanese person for whom it fit a lot better.
I don't understand it, Chopper, but my encyclopedic sense is a dangerous past, at least for now. What could Count Dragon be up to?
Can't be any good.
Japanese footage again. You can tell from somewhat grainier footage. American footage. It's a bit more saturated and less foggy than when they cut to the Japanese footage in a sec.
Ingenious, isn't it? The Tentaclon's powers of invisibility.
So these two are American actors who were hired predominantly because the person on the left has a mask that pretty much encompasses their entire face. And so it's easier to just slap that on this, have an American person speak in front of the camera. Unfortunately, the character on the right, they just said, You know what? We need an Asian actress. Let's hire an Asian actress so that on the off chance that we get footage of the Asian actress who played this character in the original Japanese footage, the kids won't be able to tell the difference. I unfortunately do genuinely believe that was Saban's reasoning. And I hate to keep harping on it, but it's just so fucking unfortunate. Because I'm not even sure Power Rangers pulled shit like that. I would have to watch Power Rangers again to be sure, but yikes.
Even mask Prince Dex's insectopathic sense.
It's perfect, my count. He has no idea he's still in danger.
Good job, Dex.
Dex, I want you to know that what you're doing is majorly golden.
Pardon me?
He's so modest.
Listen, Dex. Oh, one moment. Sorry, I had to deal with my own insectopathic dealings there for a sec.
We've got to talk. There's a rumor going around school. Coach Tyler saw you running this morning.
Dex.
Yes, Coach Tyler.
My office, son. Now.
I'll beat you to it, Fee.
Stuart, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I know all about you.
You do?
And I've told everybody I could find.
You have.
I want you to try out for the school track team.
Try out?
Well, it's not really a tryout. I just want to see how you do. Meet Aaron Hill.
Welcome to the team, Dex. Coach says you're natural.
Actually, I got hair plugs, but I appreciate the compliment.
Thanks.
Dex, you're my new secret weapon. And together, you two are going to take us to the state. Double.
Once again, every time.
To the state.
Because I know it's out of context Japanese footage that they're using for these segments here. Thank you very much, Faye. But I can't help but wonder, does anyone just look up in this Southern California town? I know it never rains, so they usually don't have a reason to look up. Just find it fucking hilarious. The spiritual precursor to Don't Look Up. Can take care of you like I take care of Silver. Is that a threat, Faye?
Double Face, what is your progress?
All goes according to plan, sire. The commandoids are charging up the crystal for a test of the molecular transfer machine.
What do you predict?
If Vanishing Tentacon keeps Prince Dex at bay, then evil Count Dragon will soon rule the day.
Now, once again, you can tell that this is the Japanese footage from the original show because the colors are a bit more faded when contrasted with the newer American footage. Like here, the colors are a bit more saturated.
Of the molecular transfer machine.
Here, they're a bit more faded. There's a bit more bloom at work, or at the very least, the footage isn't as crisp in contrast.
What do you predict?
If Vanishing Tentacon...
And once again, you can tell that woman in the background is not the same actress as in those other shots. That is a completely different actress taken from the original Japanese footage.
Keeps Prince Dex at bay, then evil Count Dragon will soon rule the day.
I didn't ask you. Fact.
Database predicts victory for Count Dragon.
Coach wants me to try out for the track team.
Listen, if I want an opinion, I'll ask my Tamagotchi. We've been over this.
Should you be doing that?
Why not?
Dex, the word's all over my school, too. You're the next track star of Leeward High.
Not yet, Albie.
Albie, what's in the duffel bag?
You have to ask.
It's there!
Yeah.
It's there! We want to see you try out.
No one's gonna see that. It's private.
All right, people, bring it in. Let's go. Okay. Let's try something simple. Say, 50-yard dash.
Sure.
Great. Let's see your stance.
You know, the autism allegations are not helped with this scene.
What's that supposed to be? A running stance. Aaron, show him.
Like this, Dex. Oh, okay.
Go.
The BBGAI is consistently wrong, and yet he hasn't yeeted into space. That is a very good question. And I think this is just one of those instances of the worst person you can think of who's openly hostile to what social circle they have, but they don't choose to associate with anyone else because no one else will stand them. Thing is, we all know people like this.
Wow. That was unbelievable. Could you do that again?
Sure.
Great. Let's try some other events. How about the javelin throw?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go and do that.
So every fucking time they cut away from the puppet to the suit, and this is even, dear God, I hate that it's looking at me. This is a perfect fucking contrast here, because what I have here overlaid on my sprite here, that is the Furbus puppet. What we're seeing on screen here is the Furbus suit. Slowly zooms into the Furbus.
Embrace the Furbus. Celebrate the Furbus. Hail the Furbus.
Ah, my word. I feel like this needs to be some kind of meme format or something. I keep saying that, and I think it's mainly just my fight or flight instincts seeking escapism at any opportune moment. Because otherwise, the full weight of reality is going to drive me over the brink again. Never mind the fact that I said again. Moving on. Wacky shenanigans! Oh my god, the fucking Hanna-Barbera sounds. God damn it. Oh, well. You know, I should have expected that, Faye. So, once more with feeling.
Love the Furbus. Need the Furbus. Crave the Furbus. All hail the Furbus.
Ah, my word. Read your message. Not a redeem, you're paying for it? Well, now you got a bonus. God. Alright, Clippers, on your marks, get ready.
Where's Furbus? Look!
Throw it? Oh, okay. I understand.
Get the bag, Albie.
Get in the bag, Shinji. And this is how Furbus died.
done?
You've killed the mascot. Now we're going to have to borrow Alpha 5. This will end better than the last time. There's no way this is going to end well, period, Faye. All you're doing is throwing fictional money, which is to say money, at a problem. Didn't work for the United States government. Do you think it's going to work out here? It's got a 5-minute cool off. Yes, it does. Gotta keep the economy in check. It kept going. No, exactly. Just they knew what they were doing. They were setting up for the tragic fall of Furbus, and then just the reveal of the gag that it was behind them the entire time. Which, granted, more clever than the writing in the show deserves. But it's you. You're the problem. You sound just like my father. Anyway.
You've just broken the record for the 50-yard dash and the javelin throw. Well, can we fix it?
God. At this point, this is just them throwing a nondescript stuffed toy into the air. I can make up for it. Like, comment, and subscribe. That applies to Twitch as well as YouTube, right? Because clearly I'm informed enough to keep track of those types of inane details. Oh God, I am trying so desperately to remain relevant in this brave new world of internet media production.
What? The broken record.
Purpose, get down here right now! Purpose, get down here! Purpose, get down! In this bag! Behind him! Get in this bag, Purpose! Get in this bag! Out there, Purpose!
Let's try the long jump.
Purpose, what were you thinking?
Bold of you to assume.
A progress report, sire. The crystal is charged enough for a test run. Proceed.
Is everything ready? Then install the crystal at once.
Fucking forgot Jedi was here.
The Chaos Emerald. You're referring to the Chaos Emerald, I assume.
No, I'm sorry. We need to re-examine that. That day, Furbus received a grim reminder. Gonna get drunk on shots of Jaeger.
Okay, Dex. Let's see what you can do.
Me the moment OBS goes offline.
Oh, something's happening.
It sure is. Leewood High is about to win its first track championship in 12 years.
Smile while you can, Master Rider. Double face, does the machine work?
Sir, are you aware of what a smile is? Better question, is there anyone in the show who's not autistic? Asking for a friend.
We shall know in a moment, sire.
What? And once again, they give so little of a shit about it. They are so convinced that we will not notice that this is not the same woman on screen. So fucking... Ugh. Again, not the same woman. So, there's this woman. You're not helping my case here, Dragon. There we fucking go. What the fuck ever. I've made my point. And you've clearly made yours, Saban.
In less than 24 hours, sire, the machine will have enough energy to transport the entire population of Leewood to Edenor.
And thanks to Tentaclaw, Dex doesn't suspect a thing. Soon, Prince Dex and his precious Leewood will be in my control.
All tremors rattled residents of Leewood today. As of yet, no one seems to know their origin.
Ah, my favorite movie from the 90s.
I hope they find a reason for those tremors soon. Caused one of my cakes to fall.
Okay, but legitimately, what was the point of that one? It was literally just... The joke was tremors, as in the monster movie, Fee. My word.
Leewood today. As of yet, no one seems to know their origin.
He's just sitting his ass here.
Caused one of my cakes to fall.
I don't like the implications of how that sound effect was used. Keep him out of the kitchen. I'd say we need to fumigate, but I'd say Furbus already did. Good fucking lord.
You know, I really find these tremors troubling. But I can't sense anything's wrong.
Albie says you're going to join the school track team.
Yeah.
That's great. You know, I was a member of my high school track team.
Of course, that was about 7,000 hamburgers ago.
Fuck off. You're a fucking caterer. You have no room to talk.
Do I think it's a good idea for Dex to join the track team?
Why not?
Won't everyone notice how much better he is than everyone else?
So have him compete. You know why we can't do that.
Well, of course they will. That's the idea.
Well, Molly may have a point.
Well, all I know is that all the students seem to like me more than ever. I mean, it's a very pleasant feeling.
Well, then it's settled. Dex remains on the team.
Yes!
Good luck at the track meet tomorrow.
You're going to be terrific.
Thanks, Patsy. You know, I can't believe all this attention. This is really extraordinary.
Just don't let it go to your head. Sure you want to do this?
Everybody's depending on me, Molly. How can I let them down?
I mean, granted, I get the message they're going for here. It's like, don't give in to peer pressure, you know, try and be yourself, but don't worry too much about, like, joining specific... I don't know. I mean, I get it, and yet it's done in such a way where I don't think they're making the point they think they're making. After school special. No, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to the State Track and Field Championship.
Okay, Dex, you're not up for a little while, but stay limber. I want you ready for action.
Action? You mean like active vitamins? Put some action in your life!
I mean, again, I don't even need to say it anymore.
He may be ready for running circles around a field, but he won't be ready for this. Double base, activate the machine.
At once, Count Dragon. Commandoids, begin immediately.
So are they actually using chaos control here? Because that's kind of hilarious.
Say goodbye to the earthly wood. You're about to go airborne.
So I'm confused here. How is shifting the tectonic plates with explosions supposed to transport the population of the Southern California town to another planet? Like, maybe I'm just not following. The bad jokes are... Well, yes. It's a tokusatsu show from the 90s, adapted for American audiences. The bar doesn't get set much lower than that, Fee.
The city of Leewood is in danger. I can sense it now.
Dex, you've got to go.
Dex, what's the matter? Something wrong with your head?
He just needs to get ready for the meet. Run around a little.
Sure, absolutely. Go do it, Stuart.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Dad.
Good luck, son.
Unfortunate place to stop on. Don't worry, kids, it's just a Roman salute. Anyway, bright lights warning. And we're good. Every fucking time.
Let's go get him, Chop.
The slow runner, huh?
Your history.
I mean, I will say, one of the things I do miss from shows of this era was when a lot of the visual effects work came down to actual hand-drawn animation. Like, you can tell those, like, laser and lightning effects. That was hand-drawn and overlaid over the live-action footage. I'm just such a sucker for that aesthetic overall.
Where'd he go? He disappeared on me again.
That is just such a lovely contrast of like the oh yeah! Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? He disappeared on me again. Hey, quit running away from me!
You're mine.
Chopper, I need you. Now!
I'm on my way, boss.
Here's you and your pesky motorcycle too. I'll crush
You know?
Where is he?
Boss, you okay?
Yes, but he's vanished again.
Out of curiosity, have none of the villains in the show ever thought to ride the motorcycle themselves? Not saying it would be an easy task, I'm just saying it'd make for a more interesting fight scene.
I'm looking, boss. He's coming up right behind you.
Don't worry, Chop. I've got it. Electro Saber, activate.
I forgot about the seizure-inducing dick sword. That is something that I just said on the internet. But it's certainly far from the worst thing I've said on the internet. Shaven the haircut.
Rider again. What?
So was there a point to the seizure-inducing dick sword there? Because I don't think it really was implemented at all. If you were just gonna kick him, then kick him.
Vanishing this time?
You're no threat to me.
That's what you think.
Oh, well, there we go. Okay, that is the second episode in a row where it's literally just, I'm invincible! 2 frames later, wait, maybe not so much! It's like they're trying to poke fun at it at this point. Which, once again, I would not put it past Saban for essentially making their own abridged series in those opportunities where they felt like they could get away with it.
What? No vanishing this time?
You're no threat to me.
That's
over the course of less than 10 seconds.
That's what you think.
Thankfully, the console included the history eraser button. The villains really need to stop including those in everything they make.
It'll take more than that to defeat the masked race.
Another failure! Doesn't one of you have a plan that will succeed?
Dex, are you alright?
Yes. And I don't think there'll be any more tremors in Leawood for a while either.
Thank goodness you're here.
Sir, you live in California. You may want to rethink that statement.
I don't think anybody could have done what you did.
Hey, that's right. Humans can't do what I did, can they?
They sure can't. Anyway, come on, son.
Here you are, Dex. Come on, let's go.
And of course, we've reached the point where he has to fudge it for the sake of maintaining his anonymity. Or at the very least, his secret identity. You know, if you're gonna use words, use the right words. Lesson for the ages, kids. Okay, but do you have to biff it this hard, Dex? Like, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to highlight the other kids, but you don't have to completely shit the bed. Like, there's a difference between contributing to the greater good and unnecessary social suicide, buddy.
Dex, what happened?
I don't know, Coach. I guess I'm not cut out for this sport.
Well, here are the results. And thanks to Aaron Hill, Leawood has won its first league.
I love that they're just glossing over the point that Dex and his whole family are essentially going to get bullied for the stunt for the rest of the school year.
Dex, you can beat all of those guys.
I couldn't compete with them, Albie.
Why not?
Albie, I'm an alien. And I have special abilities. I have an unfair advantage over all of them.
This is an unfortunate angle they're going with here. I get what they were going for, but it unfortunately leans into the I'm built different and therefore I'm going to have a genetic predisposition to being better than other people here, which again strays into uncomfortable territory.
And that's not what fair competition is about. Understand?
Yeah, I guess so.
Dex, I'm so proud of you.
Me too.
Who's up for a soda and a round of video games at the arcade?
Me.
I'll race you to the car.
Even the fucking endings are getting more unnecessarily abrupt.
Will Furbus go out for gymnastics? Will Dex ever get a speeding ticket? Will the coach ever get that state championship he wants? And how often does Count Dragon have to polish his head?
I mean, once again,
Will Dex ever consider using Chopper for track and field training? All this and more on the next exciting adventure of Masked Rider.
Alright. Given the time, and given OBS's extensive and increasingly frequent history of crashing on me if I push my luck, I'd say now is probably as good a time as any to call it quits for the night. Ah, my word. Once again, the good news is I do have some new tech coming in, and some that has already come in, which should hopefully make me a lot less antsy about longer streams and more involved streams going forward. I'll be experimenting a little bit tomorrow, and hopefully by the time we get around to stream time, we'll be a bit closer to that stability I have been craving. But in the interim, I do appreciate... It's too warm. I miss the rain, I miss the snow, I miss... Stream's over. And once again, just to make sure that you don't forget, I am going to once again shout out my friend Cochet. I am not 100% certain whether or not they are still streaming, but I know they were at least streaming by the time I started streaming with their partner Bats. You should give them a follow if you haven't already. Same goes for Bats. They both stream independently, and they are well worth the follow. Much more funny and talented than either of them will give themselves credit for. So yes. Hopefully tomorrow I will be joined by my friend Silver Wings, and we will be delving into something a bit more palatable than the time capsule that was our red versus blue reaction the last time. But until then, take care of yourselves, stay hydrated, and always remember to fucking think. Have a good night, everyone.